So let's pick up on that theme, the state of Christianity. What so many have said about the U.S., including those who visit the United States and those who are international business travelers, is that it's fundamentally a nation that is a Christian believing faith, that other faiths are welcome, but that certainly the majority are practicing Christians of one denomination or another, that we celebrate the Christian holidays, the Christian calendar. And so the United States as a country and Christianity as a religion have been closely tied. As you're looking at these trends, do you still feel that that is a true statement, or has the de-churching movement, and you, as you put it, fundamentally altered the perspective of the United States to the rest of the world?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, the thing that I think we can still say about the US, and to some extent you can even say this about the broader Anglosphere in general, is that it's still a culture that's very deeply shaped by Christianity. It's very much downstream from Christendom. Tom Holland's book Dominion makes this argument. He's obviously a historian in the UK. There's a pastor friend of mine in the UK named Glenn Scrivener who has a book called The Air We Breathe that makes a similar kind of argument. And so I think you can certainly argue that a lot of the things that English speaking Westerners just kind of take for granted as they go about their days are downstream in some way from Christian belief or Christian community or culture, however you want to say it. So I think that piece is still true. Now, if you get into more kind of specific analysis of community behavior or individual behavior, broadly held beliefs about certain hot button issues, it gets a lot more complicated very quickly. So, already, I think if you looked at the Northeast or the West Coast, which are major kind of cultural hubs, and kind of the coastal regions are what non Americans are most familiar with when they come over here, church attendance rates are very low in those parts of the country. Some places are higher than others. I think New York actually does better than like Seattle or San Francisco, for example. And parts of New England are much lower than New York, but it's low. If you get out into kind of what's called flyover country, which is where I am, it's not as robust as people might think based on what they believe or what they've heard about the US. Um, Certainly here in Nebraska, much of the state is very dechurched. And I think that's true. Actually, I just saw a study yesterday. I think it was Iowa has the number of churches in the state has shrunk by about 6% in the last 10 years, I think it was. It was something Ryan Burge had posted on Twitter, so people could check there. So, yes, it's Christian in the kind of Tom Holland Dominion, we live downstream from Christianity sense of the term, but in the sense of like, yes, Americans are people who go to church and they give money to religious institutions and they read their Bibles and they pray, not so much. And that's the trend that has been growing over the last 25 years.